So I'm just going to start working on the geode. So what I have here is a simple way of doing geode. I prefer this because it is so much hassle free, and all these are available in the local supermarkets. These are the bigger hard candy, rock candy, okay, and they come in uneven shapes basically. So this is what you get from the shops, and there's the other version which is already in the cube shape, and that is like super smooth, and it looks like a crystal on the outside, like very shiny. Obviously the raw crystals look like this, uncut ones. Okay, so it comes in different sizes in that whole pack. They're not too expensive as well. So this is what you need to get, and this is easier that way. Or you could just begin with isomalt and then cook them, or hard sugar and then cook that, and then you're just going to pour it and then break it. Maybe you could just pour it into bowls, plastic bowls, and then you can just break them to get uneven sizes of the sugar. So basically, which is an edible geode is nothing but sugar in uneven shapes, and so we're just going to break them and then use. So geode is nothing but rock, okay, and it's just from the soil, raw, and then when you cut open, the outside looks very crude and like stone or a rock basically, but the inside has some really precious and beautiful looking stones or crystals basically. There is an amethyst geode, and then you cut open it, and then you can see the beautiful amethyst crystals just shining through the geode. So that is what it means. So now in the cake, so the outside is all going to be cake, and when you cut open the rock, you're going to see the crystals inside the rock, and that way we're just going to cut open the cake a bit. So we're just going to partially remove some part of the cake, and then what we need to add are the crystals. So now crystals do come in different sizes, right? Now getting these bigger ones from the shop, and then you can just break them down into smaller pieces, and these are the ones that I've already broken and kept. So breaking is nothing but putting this say in between like a really good quality ziploc, and then using a rolling pin to just break it down and then roll it over, and then just patiently sit and bring them down to reasonably smaller pieces. And not all the broken pieces together will be all in the same size. Then you just need to sort them out to equally similar sizes, separate them into like 3 or 4 different sizes that you got out of breaking them. So this is from breaking the bigger rock candy, and I've just sorted them out. So relatively similar sizes are here with me. Okay, so now this will be the size that I would like to go on the cake. So you can see how beautiful texture it has, and then we're just going to color it. It's just going to shine through. So this is the size. So I'm just trying to see, so you could just check when you're holding it between your 2 fingers. This is a pretty much good size to go. Now I have another bowl a bit smaller than that as well. So these will come in handy, say sometimes you just need to fill up the gaps or just on the edges. If you just need like really smaller ones like the ones here. So I've just sorted them out into small, medium. I'm not going to use this big one at all. This is just to show you how you're going to get it from the market. And this size has been broken down into sizes of this size, which I'm just going to use it on the cake. Okay, so here's a cake that we had stacked. So I'm just going to make a marking. There are different ways you can just cut through the cake for the geode. Maybe you could just have one here on the bottom and then another here. Like there'll be a pointy side and then there'll be a broader side as well, and that looks good. Now what I'm going to do now is to just start marking from here, and then I'm just going to go wide up here and then go be in the wider size here, and then at a diagonal angle I'm just going to narrow down there. So let me just cut through this part of the cake and then check if I just need to carve out a bit more. I'm just going to keep a plate here. Just cut through. So obviously they have a board in between. So we're just going to merge it along the board. So here I'm just going to cut through at an angle, and that's when the edge and then the center of the geode will start seeing. So both of them should be at an angle like this. So this side also should show through what's inside, and then on the other side as well, it just needs to be taken out at an angle. Okay, so now after cutting through, I'm just going to seal the part of the cake that's exposed with some cream, and only on top of that cream we'll be able to start adding the geode. So that's some white whipping cream. So whatever, and this technique is nothing specific to whipped cream. Whichever medium you're working, you can use the same cream to fill, but then keep this in the white tone or its natural tone, because the geode, the rock candy, is going to be colorless, right? And we could just paint it in any color we want. So the layer that we're going to apply here should be neutral. So just stick to white. Just a thin layer should do. So just filled the inside, the cut area with the whipping cream. Then I'm just going to start adding the geode crystals. Okay, so I'm just going to start picking them. You could just pick them using your finger, and then just go start placing them there. Okay. or you could just use a tweezer. Just keep just one next to the other. Just stuff it in. Let it look like it is studded. So you'll just push it in. Just don't leave any gap. Just place them very close to each other. You just need to fill it up in the inside and then until the edge. Just make sure there is a proper definition here at the edge. So I'm just going to continue fixing the crystals, the sugar candy, into this entire area, and then I'll get back once I'm done with covering the entire thing with the geode crystals like this one by one, and I'll show you how you're just going to color this, paint it, and then give it the shading of the color. We just start with the light on the outside and then go to the dark in the inside, and I'll get back once I've done studying the entire carved space with the sugar candy. So I have the geodes stuck inside the place where I've just carved out the cake. I'm going to color the geode. I just want to have like a very pale pink. So I have some gel colors here. I also have some red, and then pink, and then there's fuchsia, and then there is some ivory as well. So I'm just going to mix and match the colors to see which ones are good to go on the cake, and then I'm going to start painting on the geode. So this says it's a deep pink. I'm just going to add one drop. And that will be some ivory as well. That's some water. You could do vodka or any non-alcoholic cake decorator's spirit, or water also should be fine. I'm just going to touch a bit of this deep pink. I'm going to touch a bit of ivory. So that's like too much of ivory. It's just gotten darker. I'm just going to take a bit of this pink. And some more clear water. Just trying to see which shade would work for me. So I'll just go with this. So this water has a bit of ivory here. I'll just go dab the brush on that, and then I'm not going to go touch the ivory because it's going on to a very darker tone. So it's the deep pink shade here, with a brush going to the water which has ivory. I do ivory on pink because it will just cut down on that really very sharp and deep bright pink will just be reduced. So I'm just going to start on the cake. I'm just going to actually dip on the water to go on light from the outside, and then as and when I need some darker shades, I'm going to go to this color, and then I will touch upon the deep pink again into this, and then use this water if I want to lighten it up. You can see it just absorbs the rock candy, just absorbs the color. And just dab, and not, you don't have to just do the brushing action here, just dab. Okay, so I've just touched upon the light pink to all the crystals here. So that will be the first shade, and that will be the outermost shade of pink as well. And then I'm just going to go one shade darker. So I'm just going to get some deep pink in here, and like I said, the ivory mixed in pink, that water. I'm just going to make a darker version. So I'm just going to leave one edge of the outermost area, and then just go in. I'm picking up some deep pink to go in the middle, right in the middle. So that will be some fuchsia I'm just going to add along with deep pink in the middle. I'm just going to not use too much water because the water is just dripping. I'll be adding some edible gold leaf on the cake. So I think I'm just done with coloring the pink. I'm just going to start doing the gold on the edge here, and then I'm just going to finally add up some gold leaf. So I have some gold luster, and I've already added the gold luster in here, and with some vodka, just mixing up to make a liquid thick paste. I'm just going to use that to go on and paint the edge of the cake here. I'm just going to start with here on the top. Just try not to touch the cake. This I'm just done with doing the gold. So I have some gold leaf here. Just want to show how it looks. They're lined in between the sheets. So that's how they are. They are like a full sheet of gold, and you just need to be really very careful. And if there's like fan blowing on it, then this is just going to fly, and you should be careful and keep it closed as much. And I'm just going to pick up a bit and then add it on the cake here. Now you could use a brush to pick up, or even a small spatula. That's a tiny finger mark. I'm just trying to beautify that instead of having to fix that entire thing, because we need some hot water and the color will change. So I'm just picking it up. So just a little bit of gold leaf should be enough. So I'm just going to stop adding the gold leaf in this corner, and for this drip of water just fell because it's just flowing down. I just add in a few more drips from here, and then just have the right side, my right side of this geode with some gold drips with the pink color itself, like a couple more. So these have just happened by itself, and I felt like they are good. Now if I had added lesser water content as I'd been painting on the geode, and these drips could have been avoided with just the gel color, dabbing it and using just enough water to go on to have the lighter tone of the shade, because in the middle obviously I had used just the fuchsia color without any water, but the edges, because they had quite a bit of water, so I'm just going to pick up the colors just with more liquid. I'm picking up a bigger brush. and some gold through the pinks. I just feel it should be good because we just want to make it look like it's just dripping from the geode, so you don't have to go all the way down there. And with that little bit of gold on one side, I think we've just finished making this geode 2-tier whipped cream cake. So we learned how to stack the whipped cream cake, and you know the trick that you need to use for the whipped cream stacking is not to use the butter paper itself, but to have a chart and then transfer the double marking on the chart and place the chart in which you've already poked the holes which has a double marking. So you could just go in from the top, holding it from a level up the bottom tier, and then poke through the holes using a longer skewer and get the double marking on the cake. And after which the rest of the measurements, you know, we just need to place a center double and then the top tier. And we just carved out the cake to make the space for geode, and with the rock candy, the easily available ones, just cut them, or the smaller pieces that was just the bigger pieces broken down into smaller pieces. We just arranged them, and some colors and the edges with gold and some gold leaf as well. And with this, we've come to the end of this lesson. So you guys will just take my instruction, but you will be doing a 2-tier whipped cream sharp edges and do the stacking, and you could follow the same pattern or just wait for my instruction in the group to make your own geode 2-tier whipped cream cake.